Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today the Houston Texans have had some bad news for Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is going to miss the first 4 games of the season or more, as he is not going to be activated tomorrow for the 53-man roster, but he placed on the reserve non-football injury list, which makes him ineligible for the first 4 weeks of the season. Honestly, my panic meter is not very high. Because I look at this first 4 games and I say to myself, all right, Rams-Bucks first 2 games of the season. Hope is don't go 0-2 there. Go 1-1. I want to see them go 2-0, but those are 2 really good teams. Go 1-1 in the first 2 weeks. Not going to lie, if I had to choose, I would say, all right, lose week 1 and win week 2 because I'm going to the Monday Night Football game against the Bucs. So I really want to see the Texans win that one. And then you've got the Jags and Titans after that. And that's why I'm not too concerned about Joe Mixon missing the first 4 games. You've got Nick Chubb, you've got Dameon Pierce, you've got Woody Marks, Durant Wallaway as well. This is a good running group outside of Joe Mixon. Those guys can hold it down for 4 weeks. And the goal would to be, again, go 1-1 or 2-0 Jags Titans. I'd prefer 2-0. And be either 2-2 or 3-1 through the first, 4 weeks of the season. I really would like to see the Texans be 3-1 going into week 5, because then the Texans play Baltimore week 5 in Baltimore. Not gonna lie, that should be a loss. So I'd prefer the Texans going into week 6 3-2 than 2-3. But if Joe Mixon is out past week 4, that is where I get nervous, because yes, the Texans have Chubb and all these other guys, but the Texans running back room needs Joe Mixon. And the schedule gets harder after week 4. I think the schedule isn't that terrible with the first 4 weeks facing the Bucs, Rams, Jags, Titans, but then it gets harder because after that you got the Ravens, you've got out at Baltimore, you've got Seattle, and the Seattle game is in Seattle, late night game, Monday Night Football. Then you've got 2 of the best defenses in the league, I think, 49ers and Broncos at home. So I think the schedule gets harder after week 1 through 4, and that is when you want Joe Mixon back. But don't rush him back, just because the simple fact you have Nick Chubb. But I think I am circling week 5 as the target date for Joe Mixon in Baltimore. Is definitely where you want him back. So yeah, but let me know your thoughts on the Texans not having Joe Mixon for the first 4 weeks of the season. Definitely tough news, but I don't think it's death sentencing. I think out for the season or out for half the season would be death sentencing for the Houston Texans. But first 4 weeks, I think the Texans can manage as long as they have a 3-1 or 2-2 record. Like I said, I'd prefer 3-1. But with the talent of their defense and the talent that they've also have in their run room, I wouldn't be too worried about this. Look, the Texans went 10-7 in 2023 with Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce as their running backs in 2023. So I'm a lot more confident in Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, and Dameon Pierce than I am Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce. So yeah, but you guys let me know your thoughts on this injury for the Texans in the comment section, and peace out.